Live. This your boy CJ Goodfella, aka Boxing Doc Corleone, here with a Colossal Boxing Talk, doing another Google Hangout, talking about various boxing situations and big things that's going on in boxing. Introduce my crew. Y'all go ahead.
aka Big Cool.
Mike.
This is
Well,
the homie Smooth.
that was the homie Smooth Cat, as y'all heard. Talk about this boxing shit that's going on. So what you want to talk about, Jarrell?
And we can also, at the end, we can touch up on the origin of CBT since we all on with Seth McGill. But we can go into how we came together and why that's on the mind. But hell, who can talk about what's coming up? We got Emmanuel Taylor. Brown will probably be like later on down the week. But Austin Trout, he returning tomorrow against Daniel Dawson in a crossroads fight that he has to win. I don't think it's too much of a crossroads for him because I thought he beat Canelo Alvarez, and I just look at him on a one fight losing streak. But he has to look impressive, and he need to try to press for the knockout. He looked good at the weigh-in, like he trained hard for the fight. So he needs to just use his superior skills and try to look for the knockout and be impressive to get his name back out there for big fights.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Austin Trout get back out there. I thought he'd beat Canelo Alvarez or at least a draw. But him coming from Daniel Dawson would be a good fight. I like to see some improvements and what he's been learning on the gym, what he improved on, what he learned from after his loss to Arizona Lara. Want to see him display some better skills and see what he learned from while being off so long. Yo, we talking about the return of Austin Trout.
You know what? First things first. I want to see what Trout is. I want to see if Trout is if he's mentally there, because like I say, after coming off the two losses that he suffered, but I say more with the Arizona Lara loss because the Canelo fight was extremely close. But with the Lara loss, he basically got spanked in that one. So that one could take a big hold on his mind. So first things first, I want to see when he gets hit, how's the Trout gonna react? And I won't say Dawson is the biggest puncher, but in the game of boxing, once you lose it mentally, it's tough to take punches that you normally can take. So I mean, it's a big question mark on Austin Trout right now, and I'm definitely interested in seeing him.
I think
Yeah,
I think that's being overstated or overanalyzed. His ability to take a punch. He got caught with a counter shot. It was a frustrating night, but it was a shot that he didn't see coming. So he, what I'm saying, and it was an elite fighter, or close to an elite fighter in Lair. So I think that's overstated, man. In the knockdown by Canelo Alvarez, Canelo a puncher, so he ain't the biggest puncher in my opinion, but he can punch. But it ain't like he was wobbly or physically shaken up by the knockdown in either fight. So I think his chin is proven to be sturdy. I just think he needs to implement more and add more layers to his game, and he'll be all right. Or maybe switch up trainers too.
All right, wait. Hold on. Now, I wasn't saying nothing about his chin. I'm saying his mental capacity up top because as we saw in a fight, that's like I'm gonna bring up a fight, Curtis Stevens versus Jesse Brinkley. In that fight, once Stevens saw that Brinkley was taking his power, Brinkley started getting to him mentally, and Brinkley ended up dropping him.
But what
And with
I get,
Brinkley dropping him, that was something that kind of it changed the whole complexion of that fight. So that basically what I'm saying is I want to see if Austin Trout still has his same mental toughness that he has always had, but now it'll be in more question coming off of two straight losses.
I think that's overstated as well. I see where you're coming from, but like I said, I don't think his mental game is has been dented at all. Maybe his outlook on how he will be judged because the Canelo experience where that fight was much closer to what the judges scored it. That might have an effect on how how he fights. But as far as his fight with Lara, it just happens. Sometimes you get dominated and outclassed. Doesn't mean you less of a fighter. I mean, you just ran up against an opponent that night, or just maybe in general a better fighter than you in a bad style matchup. Look what he did to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? The Canelo fight was competitive with Lara, but he made Canelo look foolish as well a lot in that fight. So Lara, you got to give credit to Lara because it comes off as a discredit. Not saying that you discrediting his victory, but it just comes off as like, well, you know what, Trout just wasn't there mentally when Lara did something to him to take him out of his game plan. But Daniel Dawson is no Lara, and I expect him to walk through Dawson. Whether it's a dominant unanimous decision victory or a knockout, I expect him to look impressive and move on to a potential matchup with maybe Demetrius Andrade.
He don't want them problems with Andrade. He better move his career on to something lighter and better. Want them issues. All right, how about what is y'all analysts after the Kell Brook and Sean Porter? What y'all think about those two fighters after they went to war? I'll start. But what I was surprised with was Sean Porter's inability to have a plan B. But he tried hard. I mean, he tried to smother Kell Brook attack. He tried to rattle the cage. But to my surprise, and probably to a lot of people's surprise, Kell Brook kept his composure. Um, he was never rattled. He had his strategy was to get through the first few rounds and hold. It was a calculated hold. It's something they trained for. It wasn't a hold to survive. It was a hold that was they prepared to hold.
Well timed.
Yes, it was a calculated hold, and what he was doing was buying him some time, adjusting to Porter's speed, seeing what Porter was going to do. And it came to a point around about the 6th, 7th round, he understood that Porter had no plan B, and he went to work on him. That's what I saw from Kell Brook. From Kell Brook, he went to work on him. He did everything he did. He found out the uppercut of work. Go ahead.
What I didn't see from Porter was versatility. As you seen in my status leading up to the fight, we all considered Porter the more versatile fighter. I thought his hand speed would give him problems. I thought his power would give him problems. And I thought that if his, plan A, which was to, pressure Kell Brook, didn't work, that he can, switch it up to plan B and outbox him. But it's like ever since, Porter won the title or, fought Malignaggi, he just abandoned his boxing skills. He didn't set up the jab really. He did good work to the body, but he didn't really, use his jabs to set up his offense. He really wasn't responsible on the defensive side. So So he has to, do what he has to do to make up for the lack of reach and height. But I think his hand speed could make up for some of that. But maybe he was on one, in tip top condition because I know Hearn said that he looked a little chubby around the waist at the weigh-in, and he had to be stripped down butt naked, get the weight, make weight. So
right.
What was the funny part about it is people say Porter didn't have a plan B. Kell Brooks didn't need a plan B. His plan A worked beautiful.
Yep. You know what? Basically, the only thing I can say is, like I say, when I was studying film on that fight, I saw Porter very vulnerable to that straight 1-2, and I said that in my video that I said that I believe Kell Brook will be very successful as long as he used the straight one tonight.
Yeah, where you see Kell Brook going now? Well, where would you like to see him going?
I want to see Kell Brook versus Amir Khan.
Yeah, that's my number one fight. I don't think there's too many fights better than that. That's out there. Only fight I can think about that's better than that outside of the other fight that everybody wants to happen that's never gonna happen is Lucas Matisse versus Madonna. That's the only fight I see that's more exciting than that fight.
I want to see him face Keith Thurman. So he gonna present a whole Porter did.
One thing they're gonna do with Kell Brook, if they can't get Amir Khan, they definitely gonna hold that belt hostage. He's not gonna fight no Keith Thurman. Even Keith Thurman is the number one contender for that belt.
I know Eddie Hearn was talking about Andre Berto, Josecito Lopez, Juan Manuel Marquez, and some more guys that could potentially come over there to the UK in December and fight Brook. He might have said Devin Alexander, but I know Berto and Josecito Lopez and Khan was definitely on the list, and Marquez.
Yeah, Khan could do it right now. If you wanted to
But
make
Khan
that
don't
money,
But Khan, like Eddie Hearn said, he said Khan isn't. He's not in the position of favor or of power in this round, this go around of negotiation. Doesn't matter if Al Heyman in his corner or not. Eddie Hearn is powerful over there. Al Heyman or Khan to make money off of Brook. What I'm saying? He get Porter to come over there, who already
that's
said
what I
she
said.
would.
They're gonna
Porter
hold that
Turner.
belt. They're gonna hold that belt hostage. That's exactly what they're gonna do. That's exactly what their plan is. They're gonna hold that belt hostage for as long as they can. We're not gonna see the IBF for too much longer.
And if that fight with Khan made, don't count out Khan, because Khan, he just because his chin weak don't mean he lacks the skills. And he just lacks the chin and the mental toughness, in my opinion, to stay disciplined for 12 rounds or
Me, and-
survive 12 rounds.
me and Mike favor Khan.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I favor him too because I believe his hand speed, his length, and he tall, rangy, with a good jab, real good foot movement, and extremely fast.
He
And
looks
he'll be put
stronger.
on.
He looks stronger at 47 too.
All right, hey, fellas, I got a bit of breaking news. We
But
have Mr. Steven Upsher. He's trying to join into this hangout with us to give us an interview.
Okay.
So he says he'll be coming on shortly.
All right. Good stuff.
yeah, that was a good bounce back.
But what else we can talk about? What
But
did you think?
honestly, I feel that a lot of people get caught up in one big performance, and then they believe that after that okay, well, I performed well here, so this guy can beat any and everybody. Don't get me wrong, I like Kell Brook's skill set, but I honestly believe that Khan will cause him a lot of problems that a lot of people are overlooked.
Mm, got
What y'all think about Anthony Durrell's performance? I think he did much better. In this go round, he showed that he can punch, box. He got he stayed mentally strong for the most part. Because Sakio Bika, a tough guy to fight, man.
he held his ground. When he started to hold his ground, he started to be more successful. He started to open up and see stuff more. Bika, when he kept Bika on the outside, Bika couldn't do shit with him. He ran into
Yeah, he kept
all types of shit.
You know what? Hey, Darrell had he.
once he kept fighting in the
Honestly,
middle of the
you
ring,
can
it was
see that they really looked at film of the first fight and saw the things that he made a mistake with, and in this fight he didn't make those mistakes, and I was honestly proud of him. What's up, Steven? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guy?
How y'all doing? How you
and we
doing?
got Steven up.
That's
Hey, what's up?
ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Steven Upsher. He has a fight with
How you
Andre
doing,
Berto
Steven?
coming up.
What's up?
September 6th.
Yes, sir. So,
Showtime
hey,
Championship Boxing.
go ahead, Drew.
He didn't say nothing.
First off, we want to say thank you for joining us on this Google Hangout and granting us the opportunity to ask you a few questions because we know you're busy and you're training and set ready for your big fight. So we want to say thank you.
No, not a problem. I appreciate you guys. Without y'all, us fighters were nothing. More fighters need to be humble, and not just humble because you're supposed to be humble. Humble because you need to realize, like, y'all are the people that keep us out there, to keep us going, and with the fans.
So you saying you don't need to get a Marcos Madonna, Adrian Broner ass whooping to be humble, right? you don't need to you don't need to get humbled inside the ring.
No, we don't need none of that.
So September 6th? What you seen from Berto? What you see that you can exploit from him?
Berto's a beast. Like I've always thought that. I remember, me and Eddie would sit and watch his fights, and we would say he's a beast. One thing we did used to always say, being 100% truthful, is that he falls apart like an inside. Like he didn't know like what to do in there, like you don't even know how to hold really it looked like. But I don't really. I'm not a person that really looked at a guy and like, oh, he does this wrong, I'm going to capitalize on that. Because what if he doesn't do that wrong that night? You know, I just look at like he's a fast fighter. Very- he's strong. He's going to be bigger than me. I know that, which is, I'm a stranger of having to fight. This is my third fight, and every one of them I've had to take. The contract weight was 149, which I'm under that right now. Like I'm like 145 after eating, and I'm laying here like I was about to, lay down, just go to bed. But I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. Like I'm not gonna turn down this opportunity to fight Andre Berto. Are you serious? Like on Showtime, I can't. I'm not gonna turn this down, and I'm ready. No, no way I'll turn this down.
All right,
And I will
for
tell you.
all right, for fans that haven't seen you fight, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Speed, skill, smarts, and believe it or not, people look at the record and say, "Oh, he only had 6 knockouts," but ask everybody that I've been in there with, they know that I could punch. I mean, punch enough to make you, I can make you do the two-step.
Hey, say no matter what, you're gonna earn their respect.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can, like you get stupid, I can make you do the two-step. I've heard guys like I hurt Colossal a couple times in the fight, like with right hands to the body, or like even a right hand to the head I hurt him with. I didn't actually see it myself, but my brother Eddie, like they were screaming it to me, and I'm like, in my mind I'm like, this is Colossal here. Like I ain't never really seen him hurt. I'm like,
Right.
I'm not listening to that.
You like be like, wait a minute, is he playing possum? I don't want to get too crazy.
I didn't see it. Like I hit him with it, but I didn't see the fact that he was hurt. Like I heard them like yelling from the corner, like he's hurt, jump on him, jump on him. And I'm like, nah, I'll just keep going. I'm going. But
Okay.
I consider myself a complete fighter, like a well balanced fighter. I could do it all in there. Like I'm a tall fighter, like that has like a 72, 73-inch reach. But actually, I like to fight in the inside a lot. Like that's like I'm not afraid to get in the inside and make it a dog fight. So be friendly, but I'm also smart and have a good defense too.
Okay. Another thing with this fight. Now, with this fight, are you looking for this fight to potentially catapult you into a fight that I know you've been calling for a while with Mr. Keith Thurman?
Hey, if it could, I would. I would rather go back down to my right weight, which is 140, possibly even 135, because I know I can get down to like 38, 37. Them last 2 pounds might be a little bit, but I'm a small guy. But
Right.
but if that fight arose after this victory, there's no way I'm not taking that. No way.
Could October be if you do beat him, Berto, which I believe you definitely can? Would you be able to turn around and fight in October if Keith Thurman had an available date?
Absolutely. Barring injury like a cut or anything like that, absolutely. I want to get busy. Like I've had 3 fights in the last 3 years. Like, and it's not my doing. It's not me not wanting to fight. It's them not wanting to put their guys in fights with me because they don't have me. And I've never been like opposed to signing with anybody to get a fight, but I'm not calling the actual fighter scared because a lot of the times it's not even the fighters, it's the front office people.
Yep.
Like it's scared. It's like, come on, man, like let them fight. Like everybody cannot be undefeated. Like it just looks ridiculous. There's like 100 people at every weight class that is undefeated. Like, how the hell is everybody undefeated? Somebody has to fight somebody. God damn.
Right.
Preach it, man.
Hey, like the old saying go, if back in the day, losses only mean that you was fighting great competition. But it's like nowadays, it's like the sport is kind of transferred into, if I'm not undefeated, that means I'm a bum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like one of the questions a fan will ask you. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you box?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." You know, or are you amateur? Or are you pro? I'm pro. Are you undefeated? I'm like nah. Like, oh man. Well, how many did you lose? Well, what about this? How many did I win? How about that?
Right, exactly. Hey, as soon as they see an L at the end of at the end of your record, everybody, oh well, he's a bum. He can't be good, and that's far from the truth. Because I'm a firm believer that losses mean that you fought great competition.
And you know, with
Exactly.
everybody, and what you're saying about everybody having a that's taken
Or
away from the
it could
sport of
also
boxing.
are the judges, because judges lately have been screwing these fighters out of victories.
I feel you on that, Jarrell, but I'm saying basically it's that we're not getting the best fights that can be possibly made out here today by
And
I
people not
agree.
fighting what they owe. I mean, clearly it's fights out there that we want to see made that the powers that be in boxing, aka Godfather Brother Al, is not going to let happen out here because he don't want his blue boxers to O's to go.
yeah.
So I
And
mean,
another thing is it's
But
ruining a lot of young fighters. You know, they get up, they're 20-0, then they put them in there,
Yep.
and they lose that O. Now they a lot of them are no more good after that. They lost
A-
that O.
aka the big 32 with 32 knockouts. That's exactly what's going to happen to him. He's gonna step up one day. Deontay Wilder's gonna step up one day. And I'm not wishing nothing bad upon the guy, but it's just that you have to go through the phases of boxing. You have to fight the journeymans. You have to fight the prospects, the championship contenders, and the champions. You just don't go from fighting journeyman to fighting champions. You can't. I mean, the boxing world doesn't work that way, and a lot of guys are getting away with it.
Yeah.
hey,
True.
Steven,
In my career, I fought a lot of guys that can fight. Like, maybe might not have had the best records and all of that, but I knew that they could fight. Those are guys that, when I first went to Philadelphia, like we sparred and, they were on the uprise too, but then, they're street guys. So, they take not in the gym, then they might take a fight for 8,000 or something, might lose a position, or might if they end up like with a 10-9 record or 9-5 or something like that. But I
Right.
know they fight. I'm in Philly with them, so they match me up against them. They're coming. They're coming in the best shape because they cannot lose to me in Philly. But they
Yep.
did. They did. I won. I didn't get them out of there. I didn't get a whole bunch of the taxi drivers. I didn't get a whole lot of them. The ones that you get on 1 day notice and stuff like. I didn't get that. Like, you could look at my thing and say, oh, he didn't fight that many people, or like, but I know I fight guys that can fight, and it prepared me,
Yep.
for where I'm at
hey,
You,
Steven,
you know what? That was a point I wanted to make. It's like when fighters take the road of least resistance, it always hurts them in the end because you can't adapt in the ring when you got guys who's actually coming there to beat you. You can't adapt to what they're bringing because you've never been there. So
now.
I commend any fighter who came up fighting the rough road instead of the guys who got everything handed to them.
Yeah, the Marvin Hagler world. But
Yes.
Jarrell had a question for you. Go ahead,
Oh,
Jarrell.
I apologize.
Oh
Jarrell.
yeah,
Wake up, Jarrell.
He just
why,
did.
why,
Go ahead.
another I'm here. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said there's another Philly fighter. I said there's another Philly fighter around your weight class in the name of Hank Lundy, and I want to know why is it that y'all two have been like some of the most avoided fighters? Is it because the risk is too much and the reward is not, or it's just that what is it? Because I know you and Hank Lundy up until this point couldn't really get the big fight that y'all wanted so badly. Now that you getting your big opportunity and he's yet to really get his. What is it about y'all Philly fighters that give other boxers around the world caution before agreeing to fight y'all?
it's the
Bills
fact.
pay the bills.
As soon as you hear Philly fighter, everybody thinks, oh, he's tough, he can fight. Which in us two, like our case, is the truth. But that's automatically a strike against us. They don't want to put their guy in there against us. Two, you know, really, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because if we're that good and you don't want to put your fighter in there with us, sign us and put us in there against somebody else then. Like, I've never been opposed to being signed to a deal that, is an okay deal. I've never been opposed to that. But, I've been screwed around on a couple of fights. I know that you remember when was that? Yeah, that was him to fight Dakari, Alex Perez. He
Yeah.
fought. I signed an options contract with the belt for that fight. I was set to fight Alex Perez. He pulled out, and I ended up with no fight. And to fight Dakari, gets knocked out, and I end up with no fight at the end of the day.
You win this fight, man. You're gonna get ready to get
What'd you say?
when you beat Berto, you can prepare yourself to get offers. I said once you upset Berto, you can expect a whole bunch of offers your way because Golden Boy top rank, somebody gonna be knocking down your door to sign you.
Oh yeah, I mean that's something I'm looking forward to. And I really wouldn't know who I would want to sign with. Like if all three of them came at me, like I wouldn't know who. Like one thing that was interesting to me, I heard that I've been heard it like months and months ago from a friend of mine, but that Rock Nation had got into boxing. That's something that's an interesting.
Yeah, they actually bought one of the purse bid for Corey Baum versus Peter Quillen in December or November. So they won a purse bid. Sound like top ranking Golden Boy. They won a bid too high. They won. It was like what was like 1.3.
That's the main event.
Yeah, that's the main event.
Yeah.
Corey
Baum versus Quillen.
Yeah, Peter Quillen. You know the nice amateur guy that he beat Sergey Kovalev, I believe, in the amateurs.
What's the guy's name?
Corey Baum.
Korobov.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I never heard of him.
Yeah, I seen him fight. He fought a guy on HBO a couple months ago. That's the first time I've seen him. But he's a different type of European fighter. He's a more patient. He ain't come get you. He's more of a thinker. But it'd be a good fight for Peter Quillen. Yeah, he's a kind of puncher. No, he's not taller than Peter Quillen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he about 5'10". So
5'10". Yeah, he just hell bent on getting a rematch with Gennady Golovkin because Golovkin beat him in the amateurs. This is the whole thing. He hell bent on that. So that's what he's looking for.
So do you give him a chance against Quillen?
Do I give him a chance versus Peter Quillen? I'm picking Corey Baum versus Peter Quillen. I just like his skills. He can punch. I'm picking Corey Baum.
Hey, I'm up in the air. I gotta do my film study before I go out and get one of the guys. But I favor Quillen because I've seen Quillen multiple times, but I've only seen Korobov once. So I favor Quillen, but after film study, I'll let everybody know what I think.
Quillen seems to be one-dimensional for me. You know, he doesn't really, he doesn't use his offensive repertoire enough, and he just seems to be one-dimensional and can't really adjust. So, if you get pressure on him and get him on those ropes, he gets to panicking and, he can't be had in the ring. But I like Quillen, but
you know what? That's why Mike picking Quillen because Corey Baum not aggressive. He's not gonna get you on the ropes. He gonna walk you into shit.
He not at all.
He gonna walk you into punches.
He gonna try to outbox you.
Yep.
Yeah, if he gonna stand around and let Peter Quillen throw them bombs, then it's gonna be rough.
He throw bombs too though.
He do.
he throw some bombs too.
He was a big time amateur coming out of he was a big time prospect to look out for coming out of the amateurs, but I think he had some injuries and some lackluster performances that really set him back, and really.
So that means he's a good judge of distance and he got some boxing skill.
Yeah.
He'd be tough for him. I don't remember him being no top amateur or anything.
He only had 15 amateur fights.
Well, reading ESP and Dan Raphael, I guess he can be, overly, he overstates his stuff, but I read it on there a few years back, but, hey.
My cousin was telling me about him. He was sparring with Peter Quillen a little while back. Um, Curtis Martin, the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my older cousin.
Oh, okay.
I just talked to him earlier. He wants to spar with me. I'm like, man, you're 200 and something pounds. Like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
he's not a fighter, but
He's a yeah. We I seen him box. He did an interview. He challenged somebody to work out boxing. It was a bet on NFL Network.
It was Stephen Smith he challenged on First Take too.
Yeah, he got a yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, Curtis Martin is the official, the original workhorse of running backs.
yeah, he's. I mean, I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
him ever since high school.
He's a
And
worker.
y'all might not know this, but he played Little League a couple years, like when he was 9, 10 years old. But then he stopped playing, and then he didn't play football in high school until his senior year. He played and then went straight to Pitt. They got him.
That's what's up. But
Injured all the time.
You know what? Hey, I gotta. Hey, what do you think about the Andre Ward situation, Steve?
That's sad to see.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. I mean, I would have thought that if they was going to court, I would have thought that they would have been a little smarter than that. With Jay Prince and them being in his corner, I would have thought that if they were going to keep going to court, they have something in that they know that
Right.
we have to win it. It doesn't make sense to just go in there blindly. It's a 50-50 chance you're gonna win or lose. You just keep trying. Now I feel like he's in a worse situation because Goose is gonna really try to fuck him now.
yeah,
You know, only thing I can say is, I guess Ward should hope that Rock Nation comes and tries to buy him out of his contract. Because outside of that, woo, it ain't no telling when he gonna fight.
it's only one person that can help him in this situation. It's somebody he refuses to reach out to. Is Al Heyman. Al Heyman and Bob Arum was the only two that get him out them contracts. But what's making and he's losing money. He's losing money for multiple people. After watching this, how many people gonna want to sign with Jay Prince?
Not many.
How many people gonna want to sign with Goosen?
But now one thing is, I mean, you can say they're not going to turn down money, but this might be a personal thing now. Houston might not let them out the contract, no matter how much money they offer, just because.
Yeah, I agree. I think he won't. I think he's going to make him sweat it out, and
He gets to go to court.
Now, and he might not get no fights that he wants. He might just put him in high risk, low reward fights from now on.
But
he's talented enough to succeed in those type of fights.
That's
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
one fighter that I could see that he's supposed to be undefeated. And he fought. The thing is, he fought everybody. Everybody. The Super Six tournament he was the lowest one on the totem pole in the Super Six tournament.
Yep, him and Andre the Real.
Being truthful, me and Eddie, we wanted him to win the tournament because we knew him. But we were like, damn, he drew Kessler first. God damn, they couldn't give him nothing. They couldn't let him even get his feet wet first.
Right.
And he we were sitting there watching. We were watching the first round. We're like, oh, this looks like this is gonna be
This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one for him. And then once the rounds start going on, we're like, oh, this is looking totally different than I expected.
Yeah. Say Ward is for real.
Yeah, he's walking this boy. I mean, we knew he could fight. We knew that already. But from what we seen with Kessler, with Calzaghe, it was like, wow.
Once you get a Kessler, once you get some of them Europeans going backwards, they lose their coordination most of the time. It takes a special one. But when I really knew that can go backwards really, really good, he got injured though, was Pirog. He go forward, backwards, side to side. He was a black man. He was a white man trapped in a black man's body. He was. Am I lying? That was true.
You know what? Pirog was highly skilled though. I like Pirog a lot. I'm not sure if a lot of people know. Golovkin fight when he first came to America was supposed to be against Pirog, for his middleweight championship, right?
Oh, that's a fight that he might want to after on and lost. If the back injury didn't get him, that'd have been tougher than the guy he fought before. What was the guy he fought that fight like Sergio Martinez? Proska.
Gregor Proska.
Yep. I'm a high fighter, but
Hey, Steven, I got one more question regarding your fight. Are you in any way concerned about the judges and how they could score this fight?
At this
Is that in
point,
the back of your mind?
I can't even be concerned about that. Like, ain't they gonna do what they gonna do? I gotta go in there and give it 110% like I always do. Like, ain't nobody can ever say that I don't fight my heart out in that ring. Like, even if it ain't the smartest sometimes, like, I'm gonna give it my all, because at the end of the day, when I'm 40, 50 years old, and I'm sitting there telling my kids to give it their all, I can know in my heart that I gave it my all. So I'm not lying to them saying that I did it. So that's something I can live with. If I give my all and I lose, hey, I gave my all.
Well, I mean, like I say, hey, the old cliche is skill pay the bills, and you definitely got skill. So hey, I think Berto is in trouble. But like I say, hey, I'm still up in the air on the fight. But I think Berto's in trouble in this.
don't let that concern you none. He take it to the day of the fight to make his picks.
No, I don't take to the day of the fight. I gotta study film. You gotta study film.
Y'all see the background sound in the background? That's so Rod Soka just pulled up to the camp. Fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and outside my window. This is what I deal with this guy.
Oh.
Hit the button, you can do it. Yo.
Hey, how you doing, Rod Soka?
What's up, Rod Soka? What's up?
How you doing, Rod Soka?
Jesus.
The fuck?
A conference call thing.
All right, we appreciate you, Steven, for jumping on with us. We don't want to take too much of your time. We don't want to take too much of your time up, but definitely going to support you on September 6th.
Yeah.
We hope to get an interview post fight with you after the fight. So
most definitely.
All right, enjoy y'all nights.
Good luck, man. And
take it easy.
I have to wear glasses in the interview after the fight too.
Hey, but you take it easy, man, and go get that W September 6th.
All right.
Hey, have a good one. Hey, like I say, skills pay the bills. That left hook, Andre Berto is a sucker for it.
That's my favorite punch.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna log it off now. I'll put it up tomorrow, around 12. How about that?
I'll put it up.
I'll put it up. I know
I got it.
I'm gonna spread it around better than you will. That's why you don't get no views.
Hey, all right, go off live. And
that's why I get more views.
And I'm out.
You're stupid. Go ahead and be out. Bye. All right, ask Jarrell something.
All right,
you
man.
Go off live. You still on live?
I ain't on. Oh shit.
You are on live.